morning. Good morning. I am super excited to welcome everyone because today we have a very special webinar series featuring for the very first time Anda and her team of experts from DGS. They will be talking about 4 different topics today. I'm very excited because normally we only have one special guest, but today we have 4 different special guests. We have Anda, we have Vic, we have Renee, and of course we have Mr. Wayne Gross. So on behalf of Mr. Albert Arenteria from the ARC and the founder of Ops for Vet, welcome and thank you for having skin in the game. I am Jennifer Larenas, co-owner of California 5-Star Coffee, located in the heart of Oakland. Just like you, a fellow veteran, retired Navy with 21 years of service, I will be one of your co-hosts for today. Now, through Zoom platform, Microsoft Team platform that we use from the VA, we can help every veteran businesses owners to get certified or registered to do business with the government, either state or federal, at no cost to you. If you've already established your business, use the platform, use the Ops for Vet, Southwest Business Resource Center, advertise your business, make the government look for you, make the procurement officers search you, make everyone be aware of your business. Drop your email on the chat line so we can send you information, and please subscribe to our Ops for Vet YouTube channel. All these recordings will be available on our YouTube channel. Now, I'm so excited, like I said, to introduce our guest speakers for today. Check this out. We are so blessed, like I said, for 4 speakers, right? The first one is Anda Draghici, Branch Chief of Office of Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise. Anda joined OSDS in General Services in 2015 as a program manager of overseeing SB and DVBE certification, regulations, compliance, and reporting. Her 20-year career with the state includes assisting small businesses in economic development, transportation, housing, and procurement arenas, starting with the Small Business Development Center program in 2001 and continuing with the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise program in Caltrans. Anda also worked in the Department of Housing Community Development as a specialist in policy development and planning before joining General Services. Anda holds a degree in economic planning and forecasting. Welcome, Anda. Our second guest will be Renee Alexander. Renee is a second chief of business intelligence and strategies. She will be talking about who in the state government buys what she sells or what the government sells. Renee Alexander is the section chief over the e-procurement and business intelligence strategies section, which is called EBS, at the procurement division. She has over 14 years experience with the procurement division and in the state services. During that time, she has worked in the implementation of both the state contract and procurement registration system and California state contract registration or register IT projects. And most recently, she has acted as the statewide procurement functionality liaison for procurement division of the fiscal project. Renee leads a team of 15 analysts who make it their job to provide reliable descriptive data modeling analysis output that creates actionable result for the data consumer to optimize their key business processes and create volume for the state across all business lines. Welcome, Renee. And for our third guest, it's Vic Marzan. Vic Marzan is a certification analyst, and he will be talking about what's in it for me, benefits of getting SB, DVBE certified, and where to start. Vic Marzan has worked with the state of California for more than 20 years. Vic started with the Department of Real Estate, which is now known as the Bureau of Real Estate, in the Licensing and Business Services Division for 7 years. He currently works for the Department of General Services, Office of Small Business and DVBE Services as a Small Business and DVBE Certification Officer Analyst. Vic has been involved and assisted in implementing the past BidSync and current Cal eProcure Online application in conjunction with the fiscal. He is also involved with outreach events and certification webinars. Vic's education background in graphic communication and business marketing. And last but not least, our very own Mr. Wayne, Business Outreach Liaison, and he'll be talking about where can I find bid opportunities with the state. Wayne Gross has 47 years of customer service skills, starting from his early days as a United States Air Force captain. Wayne currently serves as a business outreach liaison for the State of California Office of Small Business and DVBE. In this role, he educates the business community and ensures that small business and DVBE businesses can access their share of state contract. Wayne has received numerous awards for his advocacy and support of SBs and DVBEs seeking to understand and navigate the state procurement system. He holds a master's degree in business management from Golden Gate University. So if you have questions at any time, please write them on the chat line and we will get them to you during question and answers. Again, welcome everyone, and Ada, go ahead and take it away.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for that wonderful introduction. I'm trying to make my presentation. Okay. Oh, this is not mine. Sorry. So I am very excited to be here today, and I'm honored to be in front of this esteemed audience and to be able to share an insight in our Office of Small Business and how our small business and DVB programs can help your business. I think I got it today, sorry. Can everybody see? Can you see my presentation? Okay. So thank you very much, Al Renteria, for inviting us to feature OSDS in this prestigious webinar series. And thank you, Jennifer, for helping us with everything and making the arrangements for us to be able to proudly showcase our Office of Small Business and DVBE. I have high hopes that you will leave this webinar today with the curiosity and with the necessary tools and contacts to inquire and learn more about how to get certified, how to do business with the state, because the veteran business community plays a critical role in providing the state with the much needed goods and services. So to start, I brought with me a team. I'm the greatest fan of the team that I brought with me today. We have Renee Alexander. You already made this presentation, but what I want to say about Renee is that she's our data guru. You have any questions about the state dollars spent or how it's spent, you go to Renee and she will have a chart or a dashboard ready for you. Her team is amazing. We also have Big Marzan. He's a certification analyst working in the Office of Small Business and Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise, but he's also a problem solver. For some reason, Vic gets all the most complex cases of DVB applications in certification, and he managed to lead them to success. So I'm very happy to have him with me today. And then lastly, but not the least, right, Wayne. Everybody knows Wayne. I think he has a 3-part series on how to do business with the state on this right setting. He's not only our fashion guru. You see his bow tie, it's his signature, but he's our well-respected veteran, and he's a specialist in outreach. So if you have any questions about outreach and how to do business with the state, just ask Wayne. Our objectives for today are for the audience to know who we are, see who's buying what your business is selling, get curious about doing business with the state and know where to start and who to contact, and connect with the state to find contracting opportunities. Now, I would like to learn more a little bit about the audience today. I know we have about, almost 30 people in the audience. By a raise of virtual hands, can we show who is certified in the audience? Can you show if you're certified as a small business or a DVBE? Okay.
And are you able to see that?
I just see one. I see Morgan
have,
and
yes.
2 more. Patricia, yeah.
Yes. It will.
Okay. About 3 participants.
We have.
So thank you. So it seems like we have certified and not certified businesses in our audience, but it doesn't matter, because whether you are certified or not, or a veteran-owned business, we have something for you today here. Whether you have experience in government contracting or you are just starting up, my team here today will provide you with some information on the certification process, the next step to find work with state agency to get you started. So who are we? The Office of Small Business and DVB, Disabled Veteran Business Enterprise Services, is part of the State of California Department of General Services, also known as DGS, which is the California lead agency in promoting small business and DVB's participation in state contracting. DGS is also the business manager of the state of California and serves the public by providing a variety of services to agencies, state agencies, such as contracting on their behalf, as well as for the business community, the vendor community. Our procurement division, of which OSDS is part of, it's also the major buyer for the state and has direct oversight of 4 branches. It's acquisition, it's policy, business intelligence and training, it's engineering, which is the one that does the specification in state contracts, and us, the Office of Small Business and DVB. OSDS administers the small business and DVB programs, and it oversees the outreach for such businesses and their certification. As the branch chief of OSDS, I am really blessed to have an exceptional staff of 35 wonderful, dedicated professionals who strive to help the almost 2,100 DVBs that are currently in our database, and to help the business community overall. Yet, we do not stop here. We continue to encourage more businesses such as yours here today to become certified and compete to do business for the state of California. So why are we doing what we're doing? Because DGS has a vision of excellence and the business of governance. It has 6 important core values. I ace it. It's integrity, accountability, communication, excellence, innovation, and teamwork. And PD, the procurement division of which OSDS is part of, provides effective leadership to deliver innovative procurement solutions to serve the people of California. And then OSDS has its own mission, which is aligned with the PD and DGS, and it's to assist the small business and disabled veteran business enterprise to thrive, actually in this climate, to recover and grow by helping them with certification, outreach, education, and advocacy. The California DVB program was established by the legislature to address the special needs of disabled veterans seeking rehabilitation and training through entrepreneurship, and to recognize their sacrifices that they've done during their services. So on behalf of OSDS and DGS and Procurement Division, I would like to thank you all for your service. Now, the legislature also intended, had an intent that all state departments honor California's disabled veterans by taking all practical actions necessary to meet or exceed the DVB participation goal of a minimum of 3% of total contract value each year. So the state contracts out for 10 to 12 billion. 3% of that needs to go at a minimum to the DVB community. That mandate is really important because it drives everything that we do when it comes to DVBs. So what do we do and what's in it for you? At DGS, Procurement Division and OSDS, we continue to work to support and advocate for disabled veteran businesses and increase their participation on state contracting. Our dedicated certification and outreach staff works year-round to help veteran-owned businesses become certified with DGS so they can compete for contracts to do business with the state. This creates a pool of small and veteran-owned businesses with which state buyers can contract. I mentioned that we encourage others to become certified. That is true, and it's actually the bread and butter for our own outreach team. There are several certification options for you. So one, if you are a California disabled veteran with a service-connected disability of at least 10% or higher, you can get certified with the state as a DVBE. If you are a veteran-owned but not quite qualify as a disabled veteran, you can still become certified as a small business. And as of 2019, if you are a business working in a public works arena, you are on a larger side of a business, not quite qualifying for a small business or just outgrew the small business standard for the state, you can still get certified as a small business for the purpose of public works. So there are many, many options for you to get certified and work with the state. Later on, Vic will tell you all about the benefits of this certification, including how you can get preference in state contracting when you have any of these certifications. Currently, DGS has approximately 20,100 small businesses and 2,100 DVBs in the database. As a DVBE or as a veteran-owned business, you are part of an elite group of vendors or potential vendors for the state with which the state seeks to do business. Every state department and agency, as I mentioned, must contract 3% or more of their total spending to DVBEs, and this results every year in awards of hundreds of millions of dollars. The state also has a goal of 25% for the small business participation. So as many DVBs also have small business certification, they can take advantage of both certifications. If you qualify as both a small business and a DVB, you are especially sought after by the State Department because now you're helping them meet both of their goals, the 3% DVB goal and the 25% small business participation goal. More so, in case you didn't know, the state certification can be used outside the state government contracting. OSDS administers a reciprocity program and partners with approximately 60 entities such as local governments, cities or counties, transit districts, school districts, utility companies that honor either one of the certification or both of them. If you have any question about the reciprocity partners and who are these partners that recognize the state small business and DVB, ask Wayne because he's the lead over that program in the outreach team. The state departments not only are mandated to meet these DVBE and small business participation goals, but they also have to report to us every year on their achievements, how much of that goal they achieved. And if they don't meet it, then they need to come up and put an action plan in place where they tell us what measures they take to ensure they meet those goals. OSDS then gathers and compiles all this information and reports it at the statewide level every year. For example, in 2019, 2020, California, I'm very proud to report that California met its DVB goal for 12 straight years in a row. Unfortunately, because of the emergency dollars and large procurements that needed to be done due to COVID and due to wildfire, the state wasn't able to meet the small business goal. Nonetheless, the state awarded almost $12 billion in contracts for goods, services, IT, and public works in this fiscal year, purchasing anything from helicopters to masks, to food, to paper, to pencils. So 464 million of that went to DVBEs, which made up for 3.8% of the total awarded, exceeding the 3% goal. But we're not stopping here. We know we can do better. And that's why we're here today, to encourage everyone to get certified and start doing business with the state. While we couldn't meet the small business participation goal because of the emergency procurements, the state still awarded 2.8 billion to small businesses, which is record high, unprecedented, reaching 23.7% of the total awarded. Over 40% of the dollars spent in this fiscal year 2019-2020 were with emergency, right? And this was also unprecedented, but we also noticed that emergency spending is starting to take a larger share of the state spending every year. So to ensure that the state can meet that small business and DVB participation, even when the state has to spend large amount of money on emergency, we are committed to finding ways to include more DVBs and small businesses in emergency procurements as well as in regular procurements. And I'll mention one effort that we do to help with that later on. So we encourage every one of you to become part of that participation starting today. And how do you start that? With the first step, contact your certification team and get certified. Once you get certified, you get to work with the outreach team. They offer outreach education and advocacy. They hold over 100 events each year, including training and webinars such as this. Also worth mentioning, Wayne's 3-part webinar on how to do business with the state. And then they can help you market your certified business to the state. They can help you better advertise and be easily found by state buyers and prime contractors. Outreach team can also help educate you on the small business and DVB first policy and on the small business and DVB option. This is a streamlined state acquisition method where a department only needs to get quotes from 2 small businesses or 2 DVBs. It is a great tool to participate in contracts up to $250,000 or on public works up to $333,000. As some of these small business and DVB options are not posted, our outreach team will help you connect directly with the departments through their small business and DVB advocates. Just a note, every department who spends more than $100,000 every year has a requirement to name a small business and to have a small business and DVB advocate, and they get educated and trained along with our outreach team. So now that you heard what we are and what we're doing, what is new in OSDS? As I mentioned earlier, as of 2019, we have a new small business for the purpose of public works certification. If your business has outgrown the limits to be counted as a small business, or you are a somewhat larger veteran-owned business that does not qualify for small business certification and which does business in the public works arena, this new certification expands who can count and get preference as a small business on public works contracts. So it's worth exploring. And our certification team or outreach team can explain more about that. We also in 2020, May of 2020, we updated our procurement system to notify all certified firms that are listed as subcontractors automatically once the contract or the purchase order is awarded. That was one of the things that was brought to our attention, that sometimes subcontractors don't know they are listed by prime contractors, and we addressed that gap by making the system automatically notify the subs. Recently, the outreach team piloted a program to book one-on-one meetings with OSDS Business Outreach Liaison. And that's something that we're watching and monitoring. And if it works well, we'll expand it over the certification team. And lastly, I'm very happy to report that OSDS set up a warm handoff with CalVet for veterans inquiring about certification and about doing business with the state, where 2 certification analysts are available at all times during working hours to pick up the phone and talk to a veteran that went to CalVet's request for response website. That's a newly website that they put on where any veteran that has questions about doing business with the state or certification can ask their question there, and they'll put them in direct and immediate contact with us. What's coming up this year? This is the measure that the effort that I mentioned earlier. It's the Small Business DVB Emergency Registry. We're very happy and excited about this project. We are creating an emergency registry database for certified firms who wish to be included on emergency contracts and who would be able to self-register and show the state buyers and any prime contractors out there that they are ready, willing, and available to provide their goods and services within 24 hours and in case of emergency. This database will be used by state buyers, as I mentioned, and the project is estimated to launch in October of 2021. There is also new legislation being implemented that was meant to strengthen the DVB program. The most notable is Senate Bill 588 that passed late last year, and which requires that starting with 2021 contracts, prime contractors that do not use the listed DVB subcontractors or do not pay them are withheld up to $10,000 from the final payment. That's going to put some teeth in the DVB program because that was one of the complaints that many DVBEs had. And also, OSDS will update the small business and DVB regulations in 2021, including to incorporate recently related legislation. The public comment is expected for sometime in August. And if you're interested in receiving a notice of the rulemaking when the proposed regulations are posted, I provided the email address right there. So I think that's about all I have. Are you ready to invest in yourself and grow your business? If so, let's get started. Contact us. Feel free to contact me by email or OSDS Help. That is the recommended way to contact the certification program because it's monitored by numerous certification analysts, and you can get a prompt response or by phone number. Your businesses are part of the state engine that's driving California economic recovery and creating jobs. So we're here for you to assist with your needs to become part of that contracting pie with the state of California. And I hope at the end of this webinar, you'll be interested and excited and curious about where to start and when can you get going. Thank you so much for inviting me to speak with you today. And over to you, Renee.
Thank you, Anda. Do you want to advance the slides for me? You're going to be my slide girl. Okay. So as Anda said, I am the section chief for our e-procurement and business intelligence strategy section. And we look at all of the ways. We spend a lot of time digging through the procurement database and the dollars and to see who's buying what are they spending? Are we getting the best pricing for it? Have we leveraged ourselves fully so that California pays, we don't overspend the taxpayers' money. But one of the things that we came upon is there's money on the table for small businesses and DVBEs. And so I just sort of want to cut to the chase and get right to that because that's where most of the interest lies. Next slide, please. My team has developed dashboards so that you can look at the next slide.
Yes, I think it's frozen.
Okay, well, no worries. I can. Yes, let me share the screen and we will go to the place.
I think my computer is as much as it could give.
No worries. So my team has developed a set of dashboards, and on it we have department spend, where you can see what the departments are buying. You spend by UNSPSC. Those are the United Nations standard product and service codes. And that's how the state categorizes all the things that we buy. Leverage procurement spend, which are all the different state contracts that are awarded to vendors. And you can see how much based on those contracts the state is purchasing from them. Top 10 departments, top 10 UNSPSCs. And then here's the gold mine. The certified SB-DVBE spend and comparison. So what this dashboard tells you is what the state is buying and who the state is buying it from. So what you can see is dollars that the state is buying from other small businesses. So we know the state is buying these dollars from small businesses. What we need to find out is why they're not buying them from your small business or DVBE business enterprise. I'm sorry, it's both of them. So what you do is you search by UNSPSC description down here at the very corner. So just something that you guys all, description of the product that you sell. And paper is usually really easy to pull up. Oh. This is why we don't do live demos, sorry. So what it will show you is the certified vendors and the non-certified vendors. And then you'll also see what departments are doing the buy. So you can click into one of these fields and you can see which departments are actually doing the buy. So as Onda mentioned before, all departments have a small business DVBE advocate. You can then contact that department's small business DVBE advocate, and you can make the connection directly with the department to have them make the purchase from you. So here we see the small businesses, the certified firms that are getting where the state is buying it from, the dollars. You see up here, 7,000 of it is being purchased from certified firms. There's 5 million of it that is being purchased from non-certified firms. And that's where your money is. That's the pot of gold. That's the money left on the table for small businesses. So you can get certified. You click into this and you can see all of the different departments, this is consumer affairs, that have made the purchase. So they had a big one. And then you can go back, and Wayne will touch on it a bit later on in the presentation, but you can go back and look into the skippers and see who actually did the purchase. So you can either talk to the advocate or you can talk to the buyer. So this is a really handy tool for being able to search through, for being able to search through and see your competitors as well as the large businesses, right? This is a good one. 174,000 is going to certified firms. And then we have another 40,000 that's just left on the table that could easily be certified firms. Because again, as Onda said, there are legislative rules that require departments to spend 3% or 25% worth of their annual spend with small business and DVBEs. So they're always looking for, departments are always looking for ways to sort of maximize that. And by marketing directly to departments, that sort of gives you the in. General services, right? So you can search through this. Typically, it's really easy to use. This morning, not so much. But you can select any sort of, let's see, roofing. You can select any sort of UNSPSC description and get everything in the state that we've purchased since 2016. I think this goes all the way back to 2016. Oh, 2018, right? So you can go back and you can start to look at sheet metal, gutters. You can see the state bought $2,000 worth of it from a small business, but there's $13,000 of it that they're buying from non-certified firms. So there's the opportunity, right? That's where the money is, because the state is always looking for small businesses and DVBEs to be able to meet those goals. So let's see, we'll look at what this is. Oh, Department of Transportation, DOT. So you can, this gives you a direct sort of in to be able to look at what the state is buying, who's selling it, and how you can take that over. All right, so we'll send you the link, or we'll provide the link through Jennifer, and Jennifer can get it out to whomever to get to the dashboards. It's on the DGS website. If you go up here in the search and you put in dashboards, you should be able to find the statewide procurement data dashboards, and you can sort of look through all of these. but it's a really great resource. All right, that's sort of that's where I end. Is there any questions? Okay, well, we can circle back at the end of the presentation if you have more. Wayne's going to get further into all the different types of dashboards that are there. I just wanted to dangle that little piece of deliciousness in your, down for you guys, so you know sort of the benefits of being certified. So Vic is next. Why don't you take it away, Mr. Marzan?
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Let me start this from the beginning. One moment, please. Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Vic Marzan, Certification Officer with the Office of Small Business and DVBE Services. I'll be going through a brief overview of the benefits of certification and the online application process in Cali Procure. You may either ask questions in the chat or contact me at your convenience, okay? Let's go right into the benefits. As Anda and Renee has touched on already, state agencies are mandated to award at least 25% to certified small business, micro, and 3% to certified DVBE business. As a certified small business, micro business, you are eligible for the state's Small Business Participation Program. This program sets a goal for the use of small businesses in at least 25% of the state's overall annual contract dollars. State certified DVBEs are eligible for the state's DVBE participation program. The program sets the goal to use DVBEs in at least 3% of the state's overall annual contract dollars. Now, since most of you are DVBEs, we will briefly go over DVBE benefits, including the DVBE incentive first. Then we will briefly go over the benefits for small business certification. All right, DVBE incentive. It provides you opportunity for a responsive and responsible bidder to receive additional incentive calculations if they do include DVBE participation. This incentive is applied at the time of the bid evaluation when a bidder selects a California certified DVBE subcontractor to provide services or commodities in support of the overall contract scope. Application of the DVBE incentive may place the bidder to receive an advantage for possible contract award. Resulting contract award is offered at the bidder's original bid or proposal price. All right, so this is how it works. The DVBE incentive is applied by factoring the bidder's stated level of DVBE commitment by the lowest bidder's bid amount and subtracting the amount from the bidder's total. Computation is for the evaluation purposes only and does not alter the final bid price. And that's in code. Okay, let's kick back and watch a little video here. And this is regarding preferences and incentives. I think you'll find it enjoyable.
Let's talk a bit about preferences and incentives. But first, we need to define some terms. In everyday conversation, To have a preference for something means to have a greater liking for one option over another. In law and in contracting language, when something has a prior right or takes precedence over something else, we call that a preference. On the other hand, an incentive is some reason or enticement that motivates or encourages us to start doing something. Or perhaps it motivates us to do something a little more frequently or with improved quality. The state of California offers a preference for certified small businesses over other businesses. Successful small businesses are instrumental to the financial health and prosperity of California commerce. We also offer suppliers a preference for using goods and products derived from recycled tire materials to help keep the state clean and green. State procurement policy reflects these preferences. The state of California also encourages California Disabled Veteran Business Enterprises, known as DVBEs, to competitively bid on state contracts by offering a policy-driven incentive. This incentive is offered to large business bidders as well who bid on state contracts to encourage them to increase DVBE participation. During bid evaluations, buyers follow a mathematical formula that legally lets us give a financial edge, a kind of a head start, for small businesses, for DVBEs, and for recycled tires. So just how do these preferences and incentive calculations work?
Imagine that we need to buy a product for our state department, and after sending our request out to the public, we receive 2 replies. One bid is from a large business, offering to sell us the product for $1,000. Another is from a small business, also offering the same product, but they would charge us $1,025, $25 more than the large business. Because we are spending public funds, it's important to the state that we award the contract to the lowest bidder. But it is also important to the state that we support our California small businesses. Because one of these bidders is a certified small business and has met all the state's small business certification eligibility requirements, they are entitled to a 5% bid preference on all applicable state solicitations. To apply this 5% bid preference, we calculate 5% of the lowest bid that does not qualify for the preference and apply it to the eligible small business bids. In this case, 5% of the winning $1,000 large business bid, which equals $50, is subtracted from the small business's bid. If this bid preference calculation makes the bid of the small business lower than the bid of the large business, then the bid award would go to the small business. The small business wouldn't have to honor the lower bid preference calculation. The state would still pay the small business their original asking price of $1,025. The small business 5% preference is only calculated for qualified and certified small businesses claiming the preference. We do this to see if the state can shift the award of taxpayer funds from a large business to a California small business.
These same basic principles found in the small business preference calculations also apply to the tire-derived product preference calculations. The only difference is that additional calculations are made to the award evaluation if the bid response isn't composed of 100% tire-derived products. Anything less than 100% results in a decrease of the preference amount during evaluation. But if the bid response contains only tire-derived products, then that business would get the full 5% preference calculation.
The state of California also has an incentive program that encourages disabled veteran business enterprises to bid on state contracts, and also encourages non-DVBE businesses to use disabled veteran business enterprises as subcontractors to help fulfill their bid response. The more a business uses a DVBE to fulfill an order, the more the incentive calculation will benefit the business.
The DVBE incentive calculations are similar to the small business preference and recycled tire derived preference calculations, but with a few exceptions. A non-DVBE business only gets the full 5% incentive calculation if they are using a disabled veteran business enterprise to fulfill 5% or more of the order. Anything less than 5% participation results in a lower incentive amount. A DVBE bid response doing 100% of the work would be granted the full 5% incentive. Also, the incentive is calculated off of the lowest net bid of all participating vendors. When we talk about preferences and incentives in state procurement, we are specifically talking about the small business and tire-derived product preferences and the disabled veteran business enterprise incentive. While they all have many similarities, the policies, rules, and guidelines that apply to each are different.
I hope that was, a good info for you guys. I like that video a lot, but we don't need to go over this because I thought I wasn't going to be able to show that video, so we don't need to go over this again. Okay. You got the SB DVBE option. Anda touched on this already, but state agencies may use a streamlined process known as the SB DVBE option by contracting directly with California Certified Small Business, Micro Business for goods, services, information technology, and public works projects. The solicitation must be valued at more than $5,000, and the state agency must obtain price quotes from at least 2 California Certified Small Business, Micro businesses. Okay, so effective February 22nd, 2018, the maximum thresholds are for goods, services, or information technology, $249,999.99 cents. For public works, $314,000. Effective February 4th, 2020, the maximum thresholds are for goods, services, or information technology is $249,999.99. And for public works, $333,000. Okay. California multiple award schedules, also known as CMAS. The Department of General Services Procurement Division charges state and local agencies an administrative fee when contracting with the California Multiple Award Schedules vendor. As an incentive, the fee is waived if the CMAS vendor is a certified small business, micro business. Okay, the incentive for the non-small business prime contractor. As an incentive, a non-small business prime contractor who uses certified small business, micro business subcontractors for at least 25% of its net bid price is eligible for a bid preference of 5% of the lowest responsible bid when competing against another small business, and when applying bidder preferences in which non-small business bidders may be eligible, certified small business, micro businesses bidders have precedence over non-small business bidders. Another note is small business bids cannot be displaced by non-small business micro bids when applying any applicable lawful preferences. Prompt Payment Act is a good benefit. Under the Prompt Payment Act, the state must pay a certified SB microbusiness higher interest penalties for a late payment of an undisputed invoice. Prompt payment penalties for construction firms are addressed separately under the Public Contract Code. Okay, section 102.61.5. Right. That's the benefits of small business and DVB certification. Another thing is, I didn't mention is that, you're also going to be in this large database, where the public can find you as a certified firm with us. And that's real beneficial. People, agencies out of state or within the state are looking for firms, that they go through our public search portal to find you, and that's a good thing. So now let's move on to the bidder registration and certification application. I think that's what you guys are mostly interested in. So this is where you're going to start the initial bidder registration and then continue on with the certification application process. Okay. So if you haven't been on our portal yet, the Cali Procure portal, you just go directly to caliprocure.ca.gov. Okay, so right up here, caliprocure.ca.gov. So first thing you want to do is click on Get Certified. Before you begin the application, we suggest you prepare your documentation into PDF files to be uploaded in the attachment tab in your application. And that's what this mentions here, is just to prepare your documentation in PDF files. Okay, so let's click on Get Certified. Okay, so you're going to start the initial bidder registration. So you're going to click on New Bidder Registration. Okay, this is step one of your bidder registration. You're going to choose the type of tax identification number that you have. So you're going to click on that federal employer identification number if you have one. We only allow sole proprietorships to disclose social security numbers. So that's, that's where you're going to click on social security number here and then disclose the information off to the right. Okay. If you have disclose your company name, and if you have a website, you could disclose it right here. Okay. So you're going to go through about 3-4 screens, entering information about your business and creating creating user ID and password into Cali Procure. Well, user ID, I mean, you haven't created a password yet. But so after completing the bidder registration, it will show your user ID right there, your registration ID that you created. And it'll indicate in an email will be sent to your contact email regarding your status with the temporary password. So this is a sample with your of the email that will be sent to you. And that's where your user ID and temporary password are. Okay. So you can either go back to your registration landing page if it's still open, or just click on Log and Register up top here to begin. So you're going to enter your user ID up here and your temporary password, and then click on Login. Okay, then you will be prompted to change your temporary password to a new preferred password, and then click on Continue. So you enter your temporary password here under Current Password, and then you're going to create a new password, preferred password. Just keep in mind it's going to want a lot of different characters, your upper, lowercase characters, and then special character, number, and so forth. So it's going to want, and it's a minimum of 8 characters, I believe. Okay, it will indicate your password has been updated at the top left here. So you'll see that. Enter your new credentials, your user ID, and your new password that you created. and click on login if you're not logged in already. Okay, this is, you'll see up at the top right here that yeah, your user ID if you're logged in. So that'll validate that you're logged in. Okay, it'll show your user ID. We will go over a little bit more about this. You're in my work center right now, basically. And so we'll go over more about my work center towards the end of the presentation. So let's click on Get Started. Okay, so you will check a box for the certifications you are applying for, DVBE and SB or SBPW if you prefer. Now you will go through pre-eligibility questions. Once you pass these questions and accept the terms and conditions, you'll be forwarded to the actual certification application. You will go through 7 tabs, entering company information and uploading documentation towards the end of the application. We won't be going over all the tabs. However, I just wanted to go over this one tab, the Owners tab. There's a drop-down menu for the type of owner right here. This defaults to business when you get to this tab. If your firm is owned by an individual or a number of individuals, be sure to choose individual from the drop-down menu. Okay, I just want to point that out. So people kind of overlook that. Okay, so after you go through all those, you're uploading your required documents and submit the application. You should see your submission is complete and you will receive a status. It will indicate your DV is submitted for review. Okay, however, if you also applied for small business, your application may be auto-approved if there were no discrepancies in your application. If there are discrepancies, the small business application will be reviewed along with your DVBE application. Now, as I indicated earlier, I wanted you to get get familiar with My Work Center. My Work Center allows you to apply, reapply, in another couple of years when your certification expires. Update, edit your business information in your bidder account, okay? And certification profile after logging into CaliProcure. In addition, there are great resources in My Work Center available to your firm. Okay, so in certifications up here, you'll see your current application statuses. On my account, you'll be able to edit my account right here. You'll be able to edit your bidder account profile, your email address and address if it's changed. You could manage your email for bid notifications, search bids, events, notifications, change your password. And then when you click on manage certification here, that'll take you directly to your certification profile. And view my public certification profile will just show basically the same thing, almost the same thing that you will see here in your certification profile. So you'll click on manage certification and you'll see your entire certification profile. So off to the right, you'll be able to view your application, amend your information in your profile, or possibly apply for another certification if you are eligible for another certification. Now, if you are already having a small business certification, you don't need to apply for SBPW certification unless your firm is no longer eligible for small business certification due to being over the 15 million gross annual receipts threshold and or 100 employee threshold. The gross annual receipts threshold for a small business for the purpose of public works is 36 million. And the employee threshold is at 200. Okay. So your certification profile will also show all the service areas that you will be providing your services and or products. You could view your keywords, your current classifications on your certification profile. You'll also see your firm's current status in active certifications. This is the same information the public will see when they verify your firm's status. Okay. It'll also show your certification history, your past certifications, and they expired. Okay, down at the bottom of your certification profile, you'll find these resources. You will see some resources available to your firm. The next presenter, Wayne Gross, will have more information for you regarding finding and training resources. You guys already touched on Get Certified and registering to create a bidder profile. So there's you can find public procurement information, access records on what state agencies have purchased on this link here. Okay. Again, I would encourage your firm to just explore and navigate around My Work Center after you have logged in Cali Procurement to get familiar with the resources available to your business. Okay. And that concludes my part of the presentation, guys. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time today. You may contact me at 916-375-4930 or the OSDS help desk at 916-375-4940 if you have any questions regarding SB, Micro, SBPW, and DVBE certifications. Hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Wayne, you're up.
Okay, I'm just trying to find my, okay, where is it? Trying to find my PowerPoint. Just a minute, please.
I'll take this moment to thank again Jennifer for hosting this webinar and for being patient with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, why am I not seeing it?
And I just wanted to remind everybody, this presentation, of course, unfortunately, we cannot email it to you anymore, but it will be posted on our YouTube channel under Ops for Vet. That's why it's very important that you need to subscribe to our channel. Again, it will be posted in the next couple days. So we will send out an email about it. You know, I'll remind it to you in the end.
Okay, there we go. Everyone see my presentation now? Hey, good. Okay, again, my name is Wayne Gross, and today I'll be presenting information on our California State Contracts Registry, the CSCR. This is where our current formal solicitations are housed. I'll also be talking about our State Contract and Procurement Registration System, or SKIPPers. That is where the completed solicitations are housed. I'll be talking again about our advocate list. I'll show you again where the dashboards are, and end it with a success story. Again, my name is Wayne Gross. I'm a business outreach liaison with the Small Business and DVB Services, Department of General Services. If you don't have my email or phone number, there they are, wayne.gross@dgs.ca.gov, 916-230-4417. And for those people who know me, they know my mantra. The only dumb question is the one you don't ask. And unfortunately, those questions don't come up during my work hours of Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. You'll be watching Dancing with the Stars on a Monday night with your partner, and that question hits you. You know, email me, call me, text me. Don't be surprised if you actually get a response. Or I say, hey, let's talk tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Call me at 916-230-4417. I'm always available. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to search competitive solicitations. And everyone knows our homepage, www.caliprocure.ca.gov. And there are two ways that you can search for opportunities. On the top, there is the quick links button, or in the middle on the right side, it says start search. When you hit the quick links, it says find bid opportunities, CSCR. Either that or click the start search button and you'll come to our event search page. And there are three ways that you can actually do a search. The first is event name. That is a description, paint, software, whatever. Event ID, if you happen to know what the identifier is. And lastly, by department. And you'll notice to the right, there are three solid bars. And when you click that, this is the lookup page. And you can do a search on the top, it says department name, or you can scroll down. Unfortunately, the creators of this file made it numeric, not alphabetic. So you know, if you want to find Department of General Services, either put it in the department name or scroll down probably about 2/3 of the way on the right-hand side. And just a sidebar, if you're trying to find Caltrans or Calvet, you won't find it under their names. You find it under Department of Transportation for Caltrans and Department of Veterans Affairs for Calvet. In my example, I'm putting in event ID 15442 and hitting search. And here is the results. And I want to make sure that everyone realizes when before you call up any of these solicitations, make sure that you are logged in, because if you're not, you won't get all available information. And this is what a solicitation looks like. On the left-hand side, it gives you the ID, tells you when it was published, gives you a general description. In the middle is probably one of the most important pieces of information, and that is event end date. In this case, February 15th, 2021 at exactly 2 p.m. Just remember that if your quote arrives past 2 p.m., you just wasted your time. Another thing that I want to just tell you real quick is if you can't get this quote to the desired agency, contact them and see if you can fax it. Just remember that I'm going to give you an example. You start your fax machine at 5 to 2 and it ends at 2:02, 2 minutes after. Is that a good bid or not? No, it's not. It's not the beginning. It's the end time. So just kind of put that back in your memory if you actually have to do a fax. Start a half hour early, please. On the far right, we have event package, post vendor ads, view vendor ads. The event package, these are all of the documentation that you need to review and return. Post vendor ads, this is where you can see all the ads that are posted for this solicitation. The next is view vendor ads, or post is where you actually post it, which I'll show you a page. and then view is looking at all of them. The next information is contact information. Mr. Fisher is one of the rare breeds in that he actually posted his phone number. 99% of the time, the contact information person will not, I repeat, will not post their phone number. They will do it by email, and they do that for your security in the fact that if you're contacting this person, you want documentation that you've actually contacted them, especially if the solicitation has been awarded to someone else and you have a disagreement and you go to court over it and the judge says, well, do you have written proof? And you go, oh, this email, sir? So here again, it's about having that information. Just calling the administrator, there's nothing there, there's nothing tangible. You need something in written form. The last thing is the pre-bid conference. Caltrans is excellent in having mandatory pre-bid conferences when it comes to their big contracts. And here's what happens. If you're a prime, you have to go to these mandatory pre-bid conferences. If you don't, you can't bid on the solicitation. And because the primes are mandatorily required to be there, this works out for you if you are interested in that solicitation, because after the pre-bid information that Caltrans puts on, they say to the primes, go to your required desks, and then you go over to each one, introduce yourself, have a capability statement. That's a resume, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And, it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's about building these relationships. Maybe this isn't the right contract for you. However, by giving your capability statement to someone at Caltrans, they're going to go back and give it to all their buyers, so that maybe this isn't a contract for you, but maybe the next one is. This is in this case, it's 12 attachments for this solicitation, and obviously you want to be able to read them all, understand them, and respond. And the biggest write-up that buyers have is having people return documents without signatures. Make sure that every document that requires a signature has one, because if you don't sign something, you're not following our rules and you get disqualified. The next slide here is how to post an ad. And we have the expression back in the 70s, it was called KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And this is our mantra. It's very simple. Anything with a red asterisk, you have to fill out. Your name, email, phone number, you give it a title and the response date, when you have to have it in by, and then the description. You're given 2,000 characters, and once you start typing, it goes 1999, 98, 97. So that part's good. I always tell everyone, put your supplier ID number as the beginning of each one of these ads. And the reason you do that is, number one, you're telling the prime that you are certified. They can look up your profile, and they're going to go down and see make sure that you are current. Because obviously if you're not, then they can't use you. The bottom part of the solicitation includes the UNSPSC codes. Those are the United Nations Specialty Product Specialty Code classifications. It tells you what codes are being used for this solicitation. If there are contract license types, they'll be listed, and the service areas. That's another name for the counties. here we're going to now talk about past purchases or skippers. And we click on here under quick links. And it takes you to the search engine. And there's two ways that you can do a search. On the top right is a description. You put in a word, software, paint, whatever. Or you can do an advanced search and click on that. And it brings up the UNSPSC box. And so you can put in a code. So you either can put in a description or a UNSPSC code, one or the other, not both, just one or the other. And I put that one in and I hit search. And you get this giant Excel spreadsheet. Now you notice how quickly that came up. I promise you, it will not be that quick. The reason being is if you don't put in a start date or an end date, whatever, it's going to go all the way back from December 9th, 2015 forward and give you all of the completed solicitations. And on the top left, it has the department, the agency that owns the solicitation. The next is the purchase document. If you want to find out what they were asking for, you would ask the buyer, and I'll show you where that is. It gives you the first item. It tells you the start and end dates. It tells you the grand total. As you go across, it tells you if it was a small business or DVBE, their supplier ID number. It tells you how the solicitation was posted. Was it a one-time good deal? Was it a formal solicitation? Whatever. And then the last lines show you the buyer name and their email. Now, I'm giving you some privileged information, if you will. We are told to tell you that you're not supposed to contact buyers. But here, I just showed you. Here's, all these buyers' emails, right? So out of respect for the buyer, as well as the advocate is the gatekeeper. For example, if I was going to ask Michelle Ramos Brown about this solicitation, I would email her, and I would also do a CC to the advocate for CDCR, which happens to be Nina Martinez, just out of respect. So now we're going to talk about those advocates. And they're state employees tasked with assisting SBs and DVBEs pursue contracts with their department. These are your new best friends. It's about building relationships. Any agency that procures $100,000 or more must have an advocate. And some departments like Caltrans have multiple advocates because Caltrans has 12 districts and headquarters. And the advocates can assist with identifying if their department buys what you're trying to provide them, advocating for use of your business in future procurements, information on upcoming procurements, and issues about prompt payment. So we go to caliprocure.ca.gov, and on the bottom right is Find Training and Resources. And under Research and Marketing, the second bullet is Contact Small Business and DVB Advocate. Before I do that, I just want to show underneath that are resources to grow your business. And the first bullet is leverage your state certification for local contract opportunities. As Anda had mentioned about our reciprocity partners, that is where you can use your small business and DVBE to get a foot in to different cities, counties, school districts. And so you go to that page and you click on, let's say you want to do business with BART, it takes you to BART, and then you fill out their application and you get certified with them. Anyway, getting back on point with the advocate list, we click that to contact a small business DVBE advocate, and right in the middle it says download the advocate directory. And so here is the giant Excel spreadsheet of all the advocates. And there's about 235 lines of information. And you'll notice that the California Highway Patrol and the Public Utilities Commission are highlighted in yellow. And the reason for this is this. Vic mentioned the small business DVBE option that says that the buyer has the option of going into the database and finding at least 2 small businesses or 2 DVBEs. And this is from IT and non-IT goods and services from 5,000 and a penny up to 250,000 minus a penny, and from 5,000 and a penny up to 333,000 for public works. Well, 5 years ago, our director said this should not be optional. They've got people like me and my peers coming out and trying to lure people like you into getting certified. And so shouldn't our agency come to you first? And so we got rid of the option and created a first policy. There are 11 agencies that are highlighted on our Excel spreadsheet here. And we dropped that 5,000 and a penny down to 0. So anything from 0 up to 250,000 minus a penny for IT and non-IT goods and services, and 0 up to 333,000 for public works. The buyer for these different agencies are required to come to you first. If they can't find it, then they have to go out and do a formal solicitation, which is a pain in the butt because it takes a lot of paperwork and they don't want to do that. You'll notice that on column C is highlighted for construction. So if you are in the construction field, though, that list is the only list you need to contact those people. So once you are deciding on who you want to contact, especially if you are interested in doing business with Caltrans. As I said before, the list is at the very bottom because it's alphabetized as Department of Transportation. Anyway, they just came up with a new policy for what they call their minor B contracts. That is basically the public works, anything below 333,000. Caltrans is not a first policy holder. However, because of this new change, and it's only for small businesses only, for minor B contracts. So if you are in the construction field and want to do business with Caltrans and you're a small business, you definitely want to contact all the advocates for Caltrans and tell them, hey, fly me, please. What are you going to tell these advocates? It's called the 30-second elevator speech. 4 items: your full name, company name, certification number, and what you do. I tell people to write it down. You're calling people on the phone, so they're not going to realize that you're reading it. And most people don't realize how important that certification number is until you start doing contracts. And the elevator speech would go something like this. Good morning. My name is Wayne Gross. I'm with ABC Fence Company. I'm certified as a small business. My supplier ID number is 175294 and I use wood, aluminum, and cement to build fences. Can you help me? Okay, I've been saying this now for 13 years. I can do it in my sleep. But the whole point is, when I gave my supplier ID number, I slowed down because all of the advocates have been trained by either me or my peers in outreach to, when the phone rings, they're anticipating a 30-second elevator speech. That they have a piece of paper and a pencil there ready to write down your supplier ID number, and then they pull up your profile and then have a discussion. And all this takes is 30 seconds. The last thing I mentioned was a capability statement. If you go to Google and type in capabilities, plural, statement examples, you will get a whole bunch, thousands of different capability statements. These are all public access. So steal from your competitors, steal their style. Okay, they've done all the work. Why not just steal their stuff, right? And just modify it to yours. There are 3 rules. Number 1, 1 page. Number 2, make sure that you have your certification number on there. And number 3, your parent UNSPSC codes. Okay, so as you see in my example here, RKG Technologies Inc., they have 1 page. They put it all on 1 page. It can be double-sided, but they chose to put it all on 1 front page. You'll notice on the bottom right are their certifications. They're certified with DGS. They also have a California Multiple Award Schedule. They've got their CMAS number there. They're also certified for women-owned minorities, and they've got all their certifications there and what they are. On the left side are their parent codes for UNSPSC codes. The parent code is defined as, the UNSPSC code is an 8-digit code. The parent code ends in 00. And so you'll notice that I've put the UNSPSC code and their description. And the reason you do that is you give me your capability statement. Well, I've been doing this for 13 years. I'm familiar with the codes, not all of them, but a lot of them. Whereas Joe Blow over here started 2 weeks ago. By giving the description, they're in the same ballpark as me. And because these people are certified on the federal side, and because they're also reciprocity people, they use, not all of them use the UNSPSC codes. They use SIC codes. They use the NAICS codes, North America Industry Classification Codes, which are here on the right. And so here again, you put the code and the description. So the third thing that I wanted to mention was what Renee had talked about, the statewide procurement data dashboards. And there are 6 of them, and she did the last one in detail. But you have department spend, UNSPSC spend, leverage procurement agreement spend, top 10 department spend, top 10 UNSPSC spend, and of course the certified SB/DVBE spend comparison. And on the top left, if you go to dgs.ca.gov, and on the right, put in the search engine dashboards, you will come up to this statewide procurement data dashboards, and you get all 6 of them. And you can just click on each one that you want, and you learn to play with it and see all the results that can definitely help you in deciding what things you want to sell to the state. The last thing that I want to talk about is our success story, and I need to go to, okay, let me get out of here. Okay, now where is it? In just a minute, this is the fun part, trying to find it.
I wonder while you're doing that,
Yeah.
Wayne, if there are any questions, maybe we can take some.
Okay, here we go. Ah.
Are we having a little technical difficulty?
I can reply to Aileen's question, sorry. The question is, are dashboards available for everyone or do you have to be registered? These are on our DGS site. So as Wayne showed you, you just go to the dgs.ca.gov and in the search, you put in dashboards and you should be able to find them just like that. So they're publicly available. You don't have to be logged in.
Thank you, Renee.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. And are there any questions?
That was the only question that was popped on the chat room.
And Jen, it's you. There you go. Thank you, everyone.
Do you want me to try to get the YouTube on?
What's that?
Do you want me to try to get the video on?
Didn't it just showed?
No, it didn't.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, no. It showed on my screen. That's funny. You want to try, Anda?
Sure.
That's funny. Oh, that is so funny.
That's why you were so quiet. You were enjoying it.
That's right. And then all of a sudden, Renee starts talking and I'm going, how rude, doesn't she? Did you see that?
I was filling the dead air. Sorry.
I know, yeah. Well, you're dead air. It was alive and well.
Okay, let me try this.
Well, and while Anda's doing that, Wayne did mention UNSPSCs. So on the DGS website, we do have a UNSPSC. We do have a UNSPSC help page. We also have a search where you can plug in the information and search using a dashboard. If you have any questions about the selection of UNSPSC, you can send those to UNSPSC. Oh no, I'm sorry. You can send those to help, HELP, UNSPSC at dgs.ca.gov.
Also, we have another question before you play the video. What do you do when SB/DVBE advocate does not respond to your 10,000 emails?
They're telling you don't bother them. Unfortunately, I'm serious. I mean, hey, we're talking human beings here. You can send them your capability statement saying, would you please give me the courtesy of returning my email, my phone call? I mean, hey, what more? I mean, there's really not much more you can do.
But you can come to us in OSDS help or OSDS business outreach, and then we'll help to get in touch with them.
Yeah. In other words, Anda will kick butt and take names.
That's why we're here.
That's right.
And another question, do new businesses stand a chance with getting contracts?
Yes, yes, yes. It's not what you know, it's who you know. How do you present yourself? What is that quote a good quote? You know, have you done your research and seeing, you know, similar bids out there for what you're trying to sell?
Well, and two, with economic recovery, they're really looking, the governor's really looking and pushing certified firms, right? So it's, that's how California is going to bounce back, right? By us doing our fair share and working with the businesses that are already here. So everybody is looking for small businesses and DVBEs right now.
Yep. And it's free. You can't beat the cost. That's the whole thing.
Indeed.
You're welcome, JD. Anda, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Well, thank you, everyone. I hope this will be free of technical challenges. So let's get to it. Okay. Let me get. Enjoy.
There's no audio.
Audio. There is no audio?
No.
No audio.
What is going on?
Wow.
It's at a maximum. It should be. No?
No. No.
So I don't know how we can share this with the audio. Do you have any ideas? We can send the link. It's a wonderful success story about a DVB, a veteran who started right off of military service and started working with the state. So it's very inspirational. We can send the link. Is that possible?
You can you can actually put the link on the chat room.
Okay.
People can actually click on it and save it in their computer.
Okay. Yeah. I apologize. I'll do that then. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Let me get out of here. Get the link. And I'll stop sharing. Okay.
And we'll give everybody a chance to kind of click on it and save it on their computer.
Okay. Did you get it?
Yeah.
In the chat? Okay.
It's there, yep.
Let me make sure it works.
It's there.
Skip the ad. Yeah.
It's there. Yes.
Yep.
Sorry about that. This concludes our presentation.
So
I just want to say thank you so much to everyone in attendance today, and to Jennifer, and to Al, and to my team here who joined me. you have our contact information. Anybody in the audience on that list at RSVP can reach out with questions, and we'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
I have a few reminders before everyone leaves right now. Hold on for a second. So again, thank you for joining us today. Anda, Renee, Vic, and of course, Mr. Wayne. Thank you for this wonderful, I just want to make sure I see everyone, for this wonderful insight today. It was a very, very good class. I just wanted to remind everybody, we have another class on July 27, which is the third series for Mr. Wayne's class. It's a webinar series featuring, again, Mr. Wayne on Learn About State of California Contracts. November 16, you guys, I'm so excited. I know this pandemic has been crazy this past year, but the great news is November 16, we're hoping that is gonna come through. It is our 10th annual Veteran and Small Business Summit. It is now scheduled at Moreno Valley. So more things is gonna pop in your emails, but right now, November 16, you guys, at Moreno Valley, it is scheduled for our 10th annual Veteran and Small Business Summit. So I hope that everyone will see you guys there. So for all our guests, okay, remember, you have until November 16. Get registered, get your business certified until November, you have until November 16. You guys, do all your profiles on Ops for Vet, do everything, get it taken care of, because on that day, you get to see everyone there, all your procurement officers, everybody in the state government, federal government will be there. Like, put yourself out there. You will get your, like Mr. Wayne said, your elevator speech. Mr. Wayne is gonna give you a chance to like put yourself out there, video yourself, do your elevator speech so that we can present you guys, each individual at no cost to you, okay? Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ops for Vet, so that you can actually view everything that you miss. If you've missed some of this events that we had since May, or March, actually, I'm sorry, March, go in there, log in, okay? Advertise your business. Again, go to Ops for Vet and you'll see all the information in there. I have a couple people that emailed me their information. I will send out all the information for you. Again, thank you, Anda, Renee, Vic, and Wayne. Thank you for all the guests today. Thanks everyone for having skin in the game. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay healthy.
Sponsored by The Arc, Wild Apricot, Department of General Services, and the Metro Water District.